Riot Games and Blizzard Entertainment.
Let's go, Atrioc. Oh, now I'm just watching stream highlights.
Blizzard, a storied one going back to all the way to the 90s.
The Prime Racing,
many legendary games,
Spud,
StarCraft, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, Overwatch. Riot Games, relatively recent. 10 years of League of Legends into a whole slew of new games. In this past week, Blizzard Entertainment has had probably the worst week in the history of its company.
Yeah.
And Riot Games has had possibly the best. In this past week, this is what happened for Blizzard. Okay, number one, Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 were delayed to 2023 at the earliest. Largely
does anyone care about Overwatch 2?
Like, leaders of Blizzard leaving all at once. And again, these were the two games at the last BlizzCon that they were sort of counting on to save
literally
the
nobody.
At a time when they needed good news the most, they were given bad. Blizzard's president, co-lead, Jen O'Neill, quit her job 3 months into the role after realizing she was only hired as a gesture of tokenism to have a woman in leadership.
True.
And she realized she couldn't make any impact. She openly said that, and she quit 3 months in. Then they canceled BlizzCon.
Yeah, I don't know if Atrioc's going to touch on it. He probably does, since this seems thorough. But yeah, Riot also had allegations against them. They were kind of in the same boat. I remember we even talked about it on the podcast. When Riot allegations came out, they were super, wild. One of them, it was revealed that the higher-ups at Riot used to go to female employees and fart in their face. That is I don't know if it's a direct quote from the lawsuit, it's been a while, but the gist was they would fart in female employees' cubicles and in their face. It was fucking crazy reading that, yeah. So yeah, Riot also had a lot of bad shit happening at their company as well. But I think they settled already? I'm not positive, I don't remember. But yeah, it's not like it was just Blizzard. A ton of video game companies got away with a lot because Blizzard's took the limelight. I remember Ubisoft had quite a bit going on at the same time. Riot, of course. And then there was one more I'm blanking on. But there was a lot. Blizzard just kind of took like that meme of the soldier taking bullets to protect the baby who was sleeping. Blizzard did that for all of the other ones. Riot will pay $90 million. Okay, so they did settle. Activision and Blizzard are the same company, bro.
The effort required to put on BlizzCon is better spent supporting our teams, meaning we don't have enough people. We can't put this on. It's going to be, and also everyone's going to be angry at us. And so we're going to get yelled at by the fans the entire time. We're just not going to do it. We're just not going to do it. Also, even more importantly, they have nothing to announce. This is the key thing. I guarantee
masculinity denied.
Good and ready to launch.
I can't fart in women's faces. They need I can't be a man.
First of all, the most damning thing you could have happen to your company is Jesus himself said this.
Hey!
I think at this point it's safe to say Activision Blizzard is the most evil video game company ever.
I'm in Atrioc's
this is a
analysis.
Of the CEO of EA trying to smile. Because somebody finally knocked them off the list. Blizzard.
To be fair, EA, from everything I've ever read about their company, treats their employees extremely well. So EA's got a horrible rep with consumers, and rightfully so, but their employees are happy as fuck, at least compared to the other video game companies.
Blizzard has done it. They've taken I was like an unbeatable record, dude.
Exit Tier 1 Axolotl. Let's
Angry
talk about Riot and PC Gamer.
Week, okay? Riot
Prime
Games
Joe
breaks records with Arcane as Netflix's best rated show ever. And now, I don't think that'll last. There's a lot of hype around the beginning, and there's a lot of fans, but it's still phenomenally reviewed. The critic score is 100%, and the audience score is 99%.
It was all right.
On a fan-related movie. On a fan-related movie, it's always like critic score 22%, audience score 93%. And it's the first show since the launch of Squid Game to
Tier 1
and that's just one thing. They also surprise dropped 2 new games out of nowhere. Blizzard can't find the game.
Real quick, sorry to keep pausing. Were these 2 games popular? When they dropped, I tried to find streams for them, but there was almost no one playing them. This one seemed like really low budget. This one seemed kind of throwaway as well, from what I was able to glimpse. Ruin King was semi-popular. Was it? Ruin King was... Okay, so Ruin King was okay.
in the couch cushions, and Riot Games just dropped 2 games out of nowhere. They're tossing them offhand at this point. And they announced 2 more games. And they also released information on Project L, which looks amazing. And I was thinking, wow, this really summarizes what the past few years have felt like, where it's all slipping more towards Riot and away from Blizzard. And I found this Quora thread from 2017 where somebody asked the question, who's better, Riot or Blizzard? This is from 2017. And the responses were unanimous for Blizzard. This guy worked at both, and he said, for me, Blizzard is leagues, above and beyond Riot in terms of creative diversity and maturity of intellectual properties. Back in 2017, generally,
it was,
agree,
people worshipped Blizzard.
Was, why even have the S? They're one game, and Blizzard is the king of the block. And so there's a lot of reasons that they have been diverged, okay? But the main theme I want to have is innovation versus exploitation. One of these companies was sued by the state of California for a culture of sexual harassment. One of these companies was also deeply tied to China and warned all of its casters to speak nothing about the Hong Kong situation. The other company is Blizzard, who did the same things but worse. It's both. And yet, for some reason, Riot is on top of the world today. Let's start by talking about Arcane again, okay? Fantastic fucking show. My God.
The show does slap.
For the League of Legends lore, outside of maybe Fizz.
He's a prime
it's
teaser.
A well-written show. The animation's good. I mean, I'm just super impressed. And I'm not the only one. So this is what I was talking about. 100% on the tomatometer, 98% audience score.
And tier 1 cheese.
This is, in my mind, far and away the best video game film or TV adaptation ever.
Yeah, it's not even close either.
I think all of them. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You know what? Outside of the new Mario movie with Chris Pratt. So the show was so good that my friend Jimmy Wong had to tweet a PSA. As someone who has played League of Legends for 8 years now, please don't play it because you watched Arcane.
And the 5
I'm here to echo that PSA. Arcane is a fantastic show. I love it. It will not be drawing me back in to play ranked League of Legends.
True.
That being said, I don't think these PSAs will have any effect because I can show you this graph. What do you guys think this graph is? This is a graph of chess.com signups after the launch of Queen's Gambit. That's the red line. And that's a game that is kind of intimidating for new players. League of Legends, brightly colored, better user flow, is only going to experience this on crack.
Thanks for the 20 gift subs, Jojo. That was sweet. No way. Thank you, Jojo.
This is a World of Warcraft movie.
Thank you for that. Hope you had a great holiday.
Not quite as beloved.
I didn't watch this movie. Was this movie any good? I debated watching it because I thought it might be so bad it's good, but from everything I read, it was just boring. Unanimously no. Is it so bad it's good, though? Nope, I'm still getting mostly no's and boring. Just bad, boring. Okay, so then I made the right call, not bothering.
Out first, like Blizzard had the idea first of turning their game into a big media property, making the IP live beyond video games. And so what did they do differently than Blizzard in this situation? Well, first of all, they were approached by many... Yeah,
I'd recommend Arcane to anyone.
League of Legends,
whether you like League of Legends or not.
Properties.
Tiana hates League of Legends and loved the show. Just a really good show.
The people in-house, the people they put in charge of this are the people that made the cinematics. And that is an incredibly brave decision. They didn't want to let somebody who had more movie experience but no league experience make their property. And it definitely shows. I always think of Hitman. Whoever made the Timothy Oliphant Hitman had never even seen the game, bro. The way he acts and then what he does is nothing like the game. I
disagree. That movie's great.
People that made the movie, people that made the game. Blizzard partnered for their movie. They partnered for their movie with Legendary Pictures to make a live-action Warcraft movie back in 2006. And after 10 years of switching directors, switching talent, swapping in and out, trying to find the right fit, they farted out a bad movie, a poorly received movie, 10 years later to make some money. A Blizzard cinematic was better than the World of Warcraft movie. And maybe Blizzard, a company that could have done this, that had years of
Tier
excellent
1 assassin
cinematics,
poop.
could have given their team a chance, given them extra money, given them a chance to go off and make a movie. Instead, went with this and ended up with a bad result. Secondly,
I can check that out, Jojo. Yeah, I'll watch that.
How both companies have responded to the rise.
Maybe
of
not on
influencers
stream,
in the
but in
past,
general, yeah, I'll definitely check
let's
that
say
out.
5 to 7 years. Influencers and creators have drastically changed the gaming environment, and companies that understand them versus those that don't are seeing massive shifts in outcomes.
Because working with Riot's such a day and night difference. I had a Riot event and then I had a Blizzard event back to back, right? And Riot paid me to go to an event. They also paid for they gave me like $500 in Uber credits.
Oh.
And like to travel for the Blizzard event, they're like, fuck you, find your way here. I had to use Riot's Uber budget that they gave me so I can travel to a Blizzard event.
That sounds like Blizzard.
Yeah,
that's like a very
giving you
Blizzard
exposure,
thing
you
for
get
sure.
Advanced access, that's your reward kind of deal.
Now, my editors will tell you I'm all for paying exposure. But when you're a big game company,
Thanks, Resub,
it
Lunatic.
starts to look bad
Angry Gun
year
and
after
Alpine
year
Coaster
when
hits
everybody
woman.
else
I
is
can't watch
realizing
that on
how
Twitch, I'll tell
important
you right
influencers
now.
are and paying them appropriately. Early in this video, he talks about how Riot Games made a bounty board to play League of Legends on stream. And they didn't care if you were Tyler1 or XQC. If you played League before or you didn't. Then Blizzard did the same thing for Hearthstone.
Hey, this
But
isn't
when Toast tried to
Reacception.
do it, they
This
said
is
no.
Atriog often does this on stream where he has like a whole presentation and topic given. So he's got all of this here in order to talk about the overall topic of Riot versus Blizzard. So it's a simple one reaction deep. He just happened to do a live class.
Only if you've never played Hearthstone will we pay you. If we've already got you playing Hearthstone, you don't get shit.
Here's the Prime Jess and the gifts of
And
painted.
that sort of cheap-ass attitude that, like, us first kind of thing is so backwards looking. And it's an arrogant outlook is what it is. Later in the video, he talks about how Blizzard tried to fly out.
He was reacting to your own
Toast,
video
a bunch of
earlier.
people to test their
Exactly.
game for 8 hours of playtest for no money. They couldn't stream it. They couldn't make a video. They wanted them to just sit down and play test it for 8 hours a day and give them feedback for free. And they thought they would just be honored to try a new Blizzard game.
That's
and that
so
is
cute.
that is like a 2002 way of thinking. There's a business reason for this. It's not just like being nice. If Toast
I went to
had
the
been given a
movies
lot of
twice
money
for Warcraft
been
and
treated
fell
really
asleep
well,
both
he's gonna think
times.
twice
Nice.
when there's a bug in a game and he wants to like bitch at the developer. He's gonna be a little nicer. He's gonna soften his blow. Blizzard, because they pissed everyone off.
Yeah, I watched that,
over and
Yeetie. I
over
even
and
made a
over and
video
over,
about it.
When you mess up, they will flip on you.
We don't have any plans at the moment to.
God
do,
damn, JoJo.
PC.
Holy fuck, thank you.
Boo!
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have.
Classic. Classic.
Play your tablet too.
And again,
Thank you so
in a
much, JoJo,
different
for the
environment,
generosity.
Had this been the one slip up and the community trusted Blizzard, this one moment probably wouldn't have been such a big a deal. It just ignites all the resentment that's been building up, and people just pounce on it.
Thanks, Resub
And every
Xander.
influencer that had a bone to pick with Blizzard watched this clip 100 times the next day and,
Thanks, a Prime
and
Todd.
roasted them. Look at this face, by the way. This is the face of a man who's got a phone. Both of these companies.
Where is Diablo Immortal at? That shit still hasn't dropped. Right? They couldn't even get this to work for mobile? How about this? How about release? 2022. So it's coming trademarked, I guess. Man. It's not like they really have anyone left at the company. Haven't like half of them quit by now? And if they haven't quit, they're probably on the verge of it. Either that or like some kind of traumatic breakdown. That'll probably never come out. God damn, rest in peace. That would have been the best mobile game of all time, no doubt.
Had lawsuits from the state of California about sexist culture. How did they handle those situations differently? So this
Use of
article
iron.
came out from Kotaku in 2016. Inside the culture of sexism at Riot Games. This is before anything was revealed at Blizzard. The
Prime
immediate response.
doctors
I think
hate this.
the best way to explain this, actually, I want to explain how Riot handles this in kind of a crass way. This is back when
Really,
Dave Spell
Eric?
was more of a forward thinker and less of a reactionary turf. It's one of the jokes I think kind of summarizes in a crass way Riot Games' strategy. And this is when Kobe Bryant was accused of sexual misconduct.
Kobe kept it together. Thank God he held his game together, because if he was cracking under pressure and getting like 6 points a game, the whole LA would have been like, that is guilty. He was playing like his freedom depended on that shit. You see this motherfucker in them games, this nigga's trying to beat that case on the court.
And the idea of beating the case on the court, most people, in my
That's a really good point for how Riot handled it.
much amount of weight to your words.
Unironically,
They
a
don't.
really good
Every
point.
time something like this happens at a big company, they'll do the same fucking apology. It's like a YouTuber apology. It's like nobody believes or trusts a YouTuber apology. Blizzard came out and said, "Oh, we don't support
Thanks to the
this type
3
of
gift subs,
workplace
Shape.
culture. We're gonna
Resub
move
Elvis,
towards a
Tenzo, and
zero
Burzu
tolerance
Jot."
policy against sexual harassment." And there was a great bit in Charlie's video where he's like, "Wow, everyone clapped that you finally went for a zero tolerance policy. Like, that's not fucking normal." And so what Riot Games...
That was me, baby. I said that. I said that.
Basically litigated those cases on the court. And by that I mean, they started bawling. When this article came out, they followed it up with KDA. Their biggest expansion into music of all time. And
This
all
is
of a
5 gift
sudden,
subs, Purple.
people were forgetting.
Thank you, Purple.
Instead of trying to apologize and apologize and
resub
apologize
DJ.
until people, like, for some reason forgave them, they just dropped something cool. And that's the equivalent of Kobe starting to shoot 38 points a game, you know? If you are backed against the wall, your options are crumble or remind people why they liked your company to begin with. Get back to basics. When the Blitzchung situation
Oh, thanks
happened,
for the bits,
this guy,
Pigeon.
Blitzchung, came on screen at a Blizzard event and said, "Freedom for Hong Kong, the glorious revolution of our age," something like that. The casters literally hid from the camera, and they were all fired, including the casters, which was absolutely ludicrous. Extreme over-the-top response. Denied him his prize money, denied him
yep.
a
I do
place in the
remember
Hall
that.
of Fame, banned him for life from Blizzard events. It got extreme negative pushback. Everyone rose up. Of course, this is censorship. This is terrible. By the way, this is an American company, Blizzard, owned by an American company, Activision.
Thanks to
Riot Games,
Pigeon and Blue.
100% wholly owned by Tencent. They also banned the
I'm not
speech
sure,
battle.
Blue.
They did it quietly. They did not make a big show of it. They didn't make a big show of force. And then the second anyone started talking about this, because this started to get some pickup on Reddit, people were like, "Hey, what the hell's this?" They dropped Project A and Project L. I'm talking like the same week. That is called litigating on the court. Avoid talking endlessly about your
didn't know
weaknesses 'cause
that.
it never changes. Now, this is mostly about Blizzard versus Riot, but I wanted to do a quick jab here at Valve because I found this tweet today. Valve has a multi-decade head start on competitive shooters.
Thanks to
They've
Bits
got one of
Naked.
the most beautiful games of all time in CSGO. They've
Oh,
got
of course,
a
I love side
thriving
talk.
esports scene. They got a thriving marketplace. And they have simply, apparently, no time or effort to invest in growing and updating the game
Thanks,
at the
Prime
level
Shoop.
of other major publishers. The debate over what is a better game, Valorant or CSGO, is kind of irrelevant from a business POV. Because CSGO is not attracting new players at the same rate as Valorant. That's it. Legends of Runeterra, I'm comparing this to Heroes of the Storm because these are two games that launched and haven't done that well. On Blizzard's side, they canceled the game. They cancel it. They give no warning. They ruin the esports scene. Riot has continued to support esports for this game, and in fact, are trying to pivot into other areas that might make it more entertaining.
Thanks to
They've
10 gift
noticed
subs,
people aren't really
Asahi.
enjoying the competitive
Thank you
aspect
for
of
the
it that much.
generosity, Asahi.
So they're making PvE mode. As a third example, think of Valve with
They even 10
can't
gift
remember
subs,
the name.
Jerry.
What was that
Thank
card
you,
game
man.
they launched?
Artifact.
Remember Artifact?
Yeah.
Artifact was dead, not only from the player base, but from the developer. Like, Valve pretended they didn't release it 1 week in. Valve was like, "Oh, that's not our game." I don't know whose game that is. This is
God,
Riot
Artifact was such a...
2017. I
Oh,
was here live.
Artifact was
This is
such an incredible case. Valve, quite literally, when they released it, did everything they could to make people forget about it. The day it came out, you would have never known it came out. Yeah, Valve, like, fucking hates games, and when they make a game, they're, like, embarrassed of it. Artifact is probably one of the most baffling cases of game development I've ever seen. The best thing that ever happened with that game was on Twitch, when it just became a place for pirated movies. It's fucking wild.
amazing.
Thanks for 5 gift subs, old lady.
Dragons
and the
are
Prime
real.
Jordan
Is
and
the dragon
resub
real?
Nikki.
Oh, totally.
And
No,
Juice.
it's an amazing
And
AR
the gift sub
dragon.
Sandu.
But this is the first of its kind. They had a massive ass stadium. They got a huge ass fucking AR dragon. It's a cool fucking thing. It's memorable. It's innovative. In the same year.
Yeah!
Overwatch League.
DJ Khaled! That's when Overwatch died.
So
He's a tier 1
you can
grade A.
see which company was innovating. And by the way, franchises in that League of Legends tournament you saw, about $1 million to $3 million. Franchises in the Overwatch League,
10 million, right?
$60 million.
What?
For your team to be featured next to DJ Khaled in a smaller stadium. Blizzard
60? That can't be right. No fucking way. Okay, no, yeah. It's about 20. Or maybe this is recent. No, it was 20. Because I know Call of Duty had the highest buy-in at 25 mil. What is it, the CDL? Call of Duty Esports. Is it CDL? I don't remember. That's 20 million per team. Oh yeah, well that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, Call of Duty I think is the highest because there's just 25 mil per team. And this is the biggest flop. I was on Twitter the other day and I saw Nade Shot posting about how much he deeply regrets fighting to have 100 Thieves in the CDL because it's a 25 million buy-in and they haven't done anything. I don't think there's been a single event. So it was like a really big scam pretty much where they had a bunch of organizations buy in at this crazy price and then did nothing. So they just got to pocket all of it. It was an actual genius level scam. Thanks to the resub Jojo and Psychotic. And the bits where the Prime Weenie. Again, Jojo, thank you so much for tonight. You're super generous. I hope you're having a great night.
overcharged, overpromised, and underdelivered, and Riot did the opposite. And so when you add all that up, all that innovation on Riot's side, in a number of ways, in the way they're approaching TV, music, game development, connected IP, treating their talent better, and then exploitation on the Blizzard side, where they're basically just using influencers without paying them extra, without fostering a relationship, where they're exploiting their own developers, and where they're dropping games so they don't make a quick buck for them.
You still play old school RuneScape? Yep, I'm playing right now. Doing agility on the side.
A complete, total collapse of Blizzard's stock market price. They're down
I'm gonna watch it, JoJo. I just don't know if I want to watch it on stream.
Less valuable and heading
usually
lower.
really heavy stuff like that's not a good idea for Twitch.
Near-term catalysts that are going to change this. You might be thinking, okay, well, they'll bounce back when they get more games or money. But the truth is, when your company has such negative momentum like this and such bad PR, what you end up with is a brain drain.
Ali.
This is the biggest threat to a company of Blizzard's size. And that is where your talent starts leaving. And with Blizzard, this has been meteoric. These are 4 studios formed in the past year and a half. These are all ex-Blizzard. And that leaves them with no talent to make the games they need to save their company. Not only are you losing people, but you can't hire anybody. Blizzard generally relied on the Blizzard clout. They would say, hey, we don't pay more than anyone else, but having Blizzard on your resume is a dope thing. They told me this when I'm applying there. Even after all of this, at the end of the day, Blizzard has one thing that is keeping it going. The dark, bleeding heart of Blizzard is
World of Warcraft. Yeah.
They're a class of people that are simply unable to leave WoW. They've put too much of their life that they are hooked. And they print money for Blizzard for decades now. WoW is what keeps Blizzard Blizzard. And I want to end this presentation with this.
Prime Bravo.
A website that went up on Riot Games' page, hiring for the League of Legends MMO. This, to me, more than anything else, looks like the end of Blizzard. That's a tale of 2 companies of the past few years, Riot and Blizzard, and what their different strategies have led to different outcomes. And that's Marketing Monday. Hope you enjoyed.
A great Marketing Monday. I didn't know Riot released all that shit around their controversies, but yeah, I always knew. So Riot was under a lot of water for a little bit because of the sexual harassment stuff they were also facing. And I thought they just completely ignored it, but it looks like they not only ignored it, they generated hype to distract from it, which is genius. Fucking genius. There's a tier 1 Morgue in the Prime song. Why do you keep saying watch Gideon? I see his videos recommended a lot now. We watched one. It's just him going in public and making scenes, right? Yeah, he just does public pranks. I'm not really a big fan. I just don't really like public pranks. I don't know why you keep recommending it. And look up. Oh, I didn't see it. Exit Prime, Sif and the Bits Blue. Exit Tier 1 Gavin.